Okay, we've had a day today regarding the Titan submarine and the Titanic wreck site, where there has been loads and loads and loads of new information coming out, and YouTubers galore have done all sorts of stuff. This is indeed heavily trending and will be so until we have an outcome one way or the other. I want to stick with it. I've noticed some interest in it, so here goes. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing all right. This is third day in a row I've done a video or some description on this, and I want to keep going and update you as and when we can. I mean, today there's more assets in the area. They're still looking. There's more planes, there's more boats, there's more rovers. They appear, at least publicly on the face of it, to have not given up, to keep going. There are reports of noises heard from the bottom of the ocean. Now, the unfortunate thing is, this submersible here would be like looking for a needle in a haystack, and these noises, while we're hopeful it could be the crew, it's a case of it could be anything. What they need to do is triangulate the position and try and work out exactly where these noises are coming from. It's been reported again earlier on today that a second set of noises have been heard. I mean, you imagine the difference between some kind of nature sounding noise and a man-made bit of a difference, but it has to be picked up on in thousands of feet of water. Now, what's happening, we're getting planes flying overhead. They're dropping sonar buoys onto the water, which are then listening for any possible sound, any possible triangulation of the location of that sub. Now, it could be anywhere. I want to give a shout out to a channel called Subbrief, which is run by a retired submariner with 20 years experience, and they do a very, very good video on this subject and break the whole thing down very, very analytically, and a bit of a doomy prediction at the end of the video, which unfortunately I think we do have to be a little bit on the realistic side, although like everyone else I'm praying for a safe outcome. Now, what concerned me today that come out in the news, there are safety concerns that have been raised about this submersible going back as far as 2018. Now, it's all centered around the design and the general attitude of those involved. Now, the article here is very, very telling. A former employee at OceanGate, which is obviously the operator of the submersible, warned of potential safety problems with the vessel as far back as 2018. So at least as long as 5 years ago, there was a problem. US court documents show that a guy called David Lockridge, the company's director of marine operations, raised concern in an inspection report. Now, some of the concerns centre this carbon fibre shell that, you know, is the main bulk of the thing's design. Now, this submariner, Subbrief, which I mentioned earlier, said that the problem with carbon fibre, when it's put under any stress or anything, if there's a flaw in it and it breaks, it won't just break, it will shatter like a teacup. And there was, you know, some concerns when they were doing testing on models that the carbon fibre used in the models was showing some signs of unusual stress, which really should have been addressed. Now, most submersibles, they're like an equal sphere shape. You know, the actual pressure vessel is an equal sphere. So what happens, the pressure pushing on it on all parts at depth actually acts equally on all sides, and it spreads equally. But when you've got something like a cylinder shape, like this OceanGate submersible was, it behaves in a completely different way. So I wonder if that was some issue. Now, the documentation goes on that when Mr. Lockridge stressed the potential danger to passengers on the Titan submersible when it reaches extreme depths. Now, this thing was actually supposedly certified for 4,000 meters, and it was only certified to that depth because the chief executive officer of OceanGate, who's currently one of the missing, and again, I pray for your safe return, actually took it down to 4,000 metres. Is that how they certified it? I do not know. But Mr. Lockridge was fired and was accused of, in a lawsuit, of revealing confidential information. He countersued for unfair dismissal, and it was all settled out of court for an undisclosed sum. Now, there's been no comment from OceanGate on the safety of the sub or anything like that, but the Titan Submersible is actually classed as experimental. It never had any official classification from any government body, and let's face it, the people that went on this thing had to sign a waiver, effectively waivering any potential lawsuit or any problem in a result of injury, psychological problems or death, which was mentioned at least 4 times on the first page. And I'm sure, you know, reading this report, and I'll put a link in the description below, that more will come out in the following days. But right now, I suppose the emphasis is the recovery of the crew in whatever condition they are discovered in. And let's hope, considering the fact, if they haven't done so already, they're going to run out of air by tomorrow morning, they're found soon, and some kind of miracle can be performed. Anyway, I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with more content. Toodaloo.